Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. Today, with another Blood Talk, we will talk about Henry Cejudo and what will be his next fight. Which opponent should he face? Which possibilities are there? As always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment what you think. Who will be the perfect opponent for Triple C to come back? Henry Cejudo retired as the active flyweight and bantamweight double champ of the UFC. He retired in August 2020 on the Gaethje Ferguson card when he fought Dominic Cruz and stopped him in the second round, I think. Yeah, the second round. The stoppage that is very famous right now because Dominic Cruz said Keith Peterson, the referee, no nonsense Keith Peterson, smelled like cigarettes and alcohol, something like that. And there was a bad stoppage, but we all know it was a good stoppage. Triple C retired there, and he said as the reason that he retires because he has his first girlfriend right now and stuff like that, so it was a little bit special. I still think that he retired because of maybe some private stuff, or for me most likely is that he retired because of the same reason why GSP retired, because injuries and all that, because he comes from the sport of wrestling, which is the toughest sport when it comes to injuries for knees, back and all that. And I think he maybe had some problems there, just a possibility, and retired because of that. And now he fixed all that, and that's why he wants to come back. That's what I think, because he retired because he had a girlfriend, and now he comes back even though he has a newborn child and a wife. Wouldn't make too much sense to me, but hey, that's none of my or our business. So let's get straight to the topic. Henry Cejudo, since 2 or 3 months, he's talking about coming back. And in my opinion, he should have got the title shot against Volk right away, because that will be the Triple C then, the official Triple C, not just 2 times UFC and then Olympian, but 3 times UFC, like 3 different weight classes. Flyweight, bantamweight, and then featherweight. This would be crazy, and I think Volk would have been the perfect opponent for Cejudo, because Volk also is very small for the weight class. Cejudo isn't the biggest guy, the tallest guy. He fought a flyweight, so that says it all. And for me, Volk really would have been the perfect opponent for Cejudo, and I really think Cejudo could beat Volk. Volk is a stud, and Volk is a psycho. But don't underestimate Cejudo. Watch his old fights. This guy only lost 2 times. One time against Demetrius Johnson by a knockout, but he revenged himself. He then won against Demetrius Johnson a few years ago, and he lost to the husband of Megan O'Leary. What's his name again? Joseph Benavides. He lost to Joseph Benavides in a split decision. Yeah, split decision says it all. Yeah, he just lost in a split decision against him. So he has these 2 losses. All the other fights, he won, and he won them dominantly. Like Cejudo, all his last fights, he didn't left a doubt. And he fought the top notch, like top of the food chain. Dillashaw, Moraes. Moraes back then was a beast. Don't get fooled by Moraes' record in the last few fights. But Cejudo ended him somehow. Since the fight with Cejudo, he wasn't the same anymore. But before, Moraes was a beast. In my opinion, Cejudo is one of the most intelligent guys when it comes to fight IQ and just his intelligence in the fighting game. He's a little bit stupid sometimes with what he says and cringe, and he sometimes says stuff that is not about the fight game or not about specific stuff, like technical stuff or something that is a little bit, off the charts, but never mind. He's a very, very intelligent guy inside the octagon and when it comes to technique and all that. He's a real star. Like everybody that goes and train with him comes back a much, much better fighter. And I think he still has it. He can still be champ. He retired a little bit early. I think if he wants to come back, now is the time. And the question is where? Like flyweight won't happen. He's too big now for flyweight. He gained some weight, I would say. And flyweight is a big friend of him right now, Davison Figueiredo, who trains under him also since the last training camp. He won't go back there. The possibilities are featherweight, but Dana White doesn't want to give him the shot because of what happened with GSP. He retired again then, and he's afraid that Cejudo does the same, so he won't get the shot there. He could fight Holloway. I would love to see that fight. I think it's a very hard fight for Cejudo because Holloway, yeah, he has crazy output, crazy striking. He's very long, but he's, of course, he's not a wrestler, but he has good defensive wrestling in my opinion. He has good takedown defense. I still think that Cejudo is such a good wrestler that he would take him down. Strongly believe that. But still, I think it will be a very hard matchup for him. Everybody in the top 3 is a hard matchup, but I think Holloway will be very tough puzzle for him. But he could do it. I believe he could win against Holloway, but it's very hard to bet on that one because both are such crazy good fighters. I still believe that Holloway won against Volk, so yeah. But that's not the topic of the video. Who's also there? Featherweight. He could fight Yair Rodriguez. He's on number 3 right now. Yeah, I don't think that they will make that matchup. Yeah, it wouldn't make too much sense to me. I think the fight to make would be Holloway against Cejudo if he wants to come back in the featherweight division. That would be crazy for his legacy, of course. But the most sense, in my opinion, if you watch in a, if you look at it like logically, Cejudo is the perfect bantamweight because he's also not big for bantamweight, but he for me has a perfect size for bantamweight. So he could come back there, and I have to say, Petr Yan is one of the craziest guys I ever saw fight, really. And that's why I would love to see him against Cejudo. Because Cejudo is... I don't know if you understand how crazy good Cejudo is or was. Like, this guy was a stud, man. He could adapt. That's also what Yan does crazy. He adapts to your style. And he figures you out. Cejudo does it more in the pre-fight analysis, I would say, and Petr Yan mid-fight, which is even crazier. But Cejudo against Petr Yan, that would be a match for the ages, man. That would be crazy. Because I think, yeah, bantamweight, there are a few matchups that would be interesting for Cejudo also. Sandhagen would be cool. Dillashaw, we already saw that. Aldo would be nice, even though I think he would demolish Aldo. Aldo's a legend, but I think Cejudo is too much for him right now in this stage of his career. So, but it would still be interesting because, as I said, Aldo's a legend and the stuff, man. He can win against anybody, you know what I mean? So, also Sterling, yeah. I would say, in my opinion, the best matchup for Cejudo is, doesn't matter if Petr Yan wins this weekend and next weekend against Sterling or not. It doesn't matter. Put him against Yan. If Yan loses, put him against Yan. If Yan wins, put him against Yan for the title. As easy as that. Because you can't deny that a guy who retired on like how many fights winning streak, I don't know, who just defended his bantamweight title, was the reigning flyweight title holder also, can't come back to a title. You can't say that. Like, Cejudo definitely deserves a title when he comes back. And you can say, yeah, but the other guys, they climbing the ladder and all that in these years. I don't care. I really don't care. If you are a double champ and you retire as the double champ, when you come back after 2 years, not like 5 years layoff, GSP had a 5-year layoff, I think. You come back after 2 years. There are some fighters that stay active, like they don't retire, but they also chill out 2 years and nobody does something. But now he should come back and fight in the division where he defended his title. If he goes up, okay, I see somehow what your argument is, but in the bantamweight division, his division where he was the champ, come on, man, he deserves a title there. So if he doesn't get the shot at Volk, I would definitely love to see most against Petr Yan. That will make a lot of sense. Statistically, from every standpoint there is, and I think this would really be a fight for the ages. I think this could make history. Like from the craziness of the fight, because both guys are so intelligent and skilled inside the cage. Not outside the cage, but inside the cage. So, Dana White, Sean Shelby, Hunter, book it. What is your opinion? Who should Cejudo fight in your opinion? Tell me in the comments. And as always, eat your vegetables. Bye bye. Bloodsport out.
Eat your vegetables.